What do you think with so many different real estate companies out there, right? And it's got to be one of the most competitive fields with the low barrier to entry. I mean, that's why
Yes.
there's so many thousands of them around here. What
Yeah.
makes your business so special and different from the others?
Yeah. Well, I would say in our industry, yes, we do have a widget that we sell, which is called a house. But
Yep.
really, the biggest part of success in the real estate industry is about relationship building. So I don't even use the word, sometimes people ask me, what's your superpower? And I will say, I believe a gift that God has given me is the ability to relate and connect. And what happens with that is a natural attraction happens. So if it's for buyers and sellers, and it's an attraction for them to want to come back for the next transaction. If it is agents and talented operations, et cetera, it's an attraction of, hey, I see the bigger picture of what you all are doing. I want to be a part of that and I want to contribute. And so agent attraction, consumer attraction is a big part of what gets us into business and staying in a business together. And so of the 12,000 agents, that's local. There's almost 1.6 million members of the National Association of Realtors. And with what I do now as the vice president of growth, I recruit all over the country. And so there is so why are people coming to Livian, whether it's locally in St. Louis or the Metro East, in Metro East Illinois, or Lake of the Ozarks, which is where the three places that we have, Tom and I have teams, but we're actually now in 26 states and 47 different markets, pretty soon to be in all 50 states. And what is the attraction? Steve, the attraction is that the loneliness epidemic in leadership is at all-time highs. We say that agents are wearing kind of the cloak of anxiety in our industry because A, it is so emotionally charged. B, what's happening in our industry and has for a while is that commission suppression is a very, very real part of what is happening in real estate. So if you look at the average commission at the end of the 90s, it was 6.7%. I Googled a couple weeks ago, the average commission in the United States was 5.37%. So you can see commission suppression is very real and will likely continue. Well, that's happening at the same time that the consumer is not only wanting, but demanding more value. Why? Because there's so many disintermediators that are out there trying to get between the consumer and the agent to try to get the eyeballs that we as agents have to work harder to keep the relationship, provide more value on less dollars. How do you do that? Through consolidation. With consolidation comes collaboration, economies of scale, et cetera. And then this loneliness epidemic gets taken care of because now there's collaboration. So I don't have to be the one to figure out how to take the organization from 100 million from our local organization from 100 million to 200 million, because I have an entire operations team that is way better at building infrastructure than what I am. Rather than being the big fish in a St. Louis pond, now, we just had a team commit last week that does 400 million. So my 106, when we came to Livian, that's a quarter of what they have built. Well, it's that level of mindset and conversation that I'm now collaborating with every single day. And what that does is raise the lid for all of us. So the rainmakers, visionaries have that kind of collaboration. The operational leaders have top operations community for all the top teams across the country. And it's those sort of relationships that help relieve us of that cloak of anxiety, like, oh my gosh, I don't have to figure all of this out on my own anymore. There are those who have gone before us. We call it standing on the shoulders of giants. And so when you ask the question of why do people come to an organization like this, they do it for that collaboration. And really what Livian is, Steve, is it's a platform that it's a real estate team platform that removes friction so that agents and teams can plug in and accelerate and amplify their business.